Why you try to control what you don't understand. You try to control what you don't understand, not consciously, automatically. When something feels uncertain, the mind moves quickly. It looks for stability, for predictability, for something to hold. Control is that attempt. You try to control situations, people, outcomes, yourself. Not because you want power, but because uncertainty feels unsafe. The mind associates uncertainty with danger, not always real danger, but psychological danger. The danger of not knowing what will happen next. So control becomes a strategy, a way to reduce discomfort. If you can anticipate, if you can manage, if you can prevent, then maybe you won't feel exposed. This is why control often appears after confusion, after emotional activation, after a reaction you didn't choose. Control is not the beginning of the pattern. It is a response to it. When you don't understand why you reacted, the mind tries to compensate. It tightens, it plans, it monitors, it overthinks, and it tells itself this is responsibility, this is being careful, this is being mature. But often it is fear wearing the mask of logic. The more you try to control, the more rigid perception becomes. You stop allowing reality to reveal itself. You start forcing it to fit your expectations. You don't listen, you manage, you don't observe, you predict. And prediction feels safer than presence. But control has a cost. When everything must be managed, nothing can be discovered. Spontaneity disappears. Curiosity fades. You are no longer in contact with what is happening. You are in contact with what might happen. And because the future is imagined, control never truly succeeds. It only creates tension. The mind works harder, the body stays alert, and the sense of safety you were seeking never fully arrives. So the cycle continues. Uncertainty triggers reaction. Reaction creates discomfort. Discomfort leads to control. Control increases rigidity. Rigidity amplifies uncertainty, and the loop tightens. Control does not resolve fear. It organizes it. It gives fear a structure. But structure is not understanding. This is why control feels productive, even when it isn't. It gives the mind something to do, something to manage, something to focus on. Control keeps you busy, busy planning, busy anticipating, busy preventing. And as long as you are busy, you don't have to feel what is underneath. The unease, the uncertainty, the lack of clarity. Control distracts you from not knowing. Instead of staying with the discomfort, the mind moves forward. It creates scenarios. It imagines outcomes. It rehearses responses. All of this feels intelligent, responsible, necessary. But notice what is missing. There is no contact with what is actually happening now. Only preparation for what might happen next. And preparation never ends because the future is never stable. So the mind keeps adjusting, correcting, refining, trying to reach a point where it can finally relax. But that point never arrives because control is not designed to create peace. It is designed to avoid vulnerability. Vulnerability is what appears when you don't know, when you don't have a plan, when you don't have certainty, when you don't have control, and the mind interprets that openness as danger. So it tightens again. This is why control becomes exhausting. Not immediately, gradually. You don't feel it at first because it feels useful. But over time, the effort accumulates. The body stays alert, the mind never rests, and the sense of safety you were seeking keeps moving further away. Because safety does not come from managing experience, it comes from being able to stay with it. This is the shift most people miss. You don't loosen control by convincing yourself to let go. Understanding is different. Understanding begins when control loosens, when you stop trying to immediately fix or manage what you feel, and instead you allow yourself to notice it, not analyze it, not correct it, notice it. That shift feels risky, because without control you feel exposed. But exposure is not danger, it is contact. Contact with uncertainty without trying to escape it. And that contact changes something. You realize that not knowing is not the same as being unsafe. You realize that clarity does not come from tightening. It comes from seeing. Control is not wrong, it is just misplaced. It belongs to practical tasks, not to inner processes. When applied inward, control distorts. Awareness clarifies. You don't need to control what you are experiencing. You need to understand that you are experiencing it. That recognition is what relaxes the system. Not answers, not certainty, but presence. The moment you stop trying to control what you don't understand, understanding begins to emerge on its own, quietly, naturally. This is inner cognition.